Sorry about that. I am having technical difficulties. I have never gone live before. So let's see. So we will share my screen once I can figure out where we're going. Oh my. Okay. All right. Looks like we got it. Oh my goodness. Yep, I think we're just going to do it like this because I don't know what I'm doing, apparently. No, that's okay. So, welcome to the Reclaim Your Voice, Break Free from System Trauma, and Rebuild Self Trust webinar. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Randy Matthews, your host for today. I am the founder of Reclaim Justice, a movement to help survivors of system trauma at least begin healing and reclaim what the system took from them. I have been formerly incarcerated, am a survivor of CPS and domestic violence, and I want to be an advocate, mentor, helper for those that are both going through this same thing right now and have gone through it in the past. I am very passionate about helping others rebuild their self-trust, because a lot of times dealing with these things, we lose trust in ourselves. So I am here to help. We do have the Reclaimed Justice Facebook group called Reclaim Self Trust After System Trauma. It is searchable, so you can find us on Facebook. A little bit more about my story from survival to healing. In 2013, my ex-husband decided that he was going to harm our son. In that process, I was at the house. I do not know what happened, but I'll never know what he did. And it breaks my heart to know that, but I also had to force myself to get over it, because I was never gonna know. But because I was in the house, that night, they charged me as well. Um, yeah, I mean, I spent here in county, um, almost a year and a half in prison, and I am beyond thankful for the experience. Yes, would I rather have been there for something else? Of course. But being incarcerated saved my life. So, very thankful. So, who is this webinar for? This is for you if you've been harmed by the system, whether it be CPS, being in court, incarceration, domestic violence or abuse. You carry guilt, shame, or self blame for things that weren't your fault. You want to heal, but don't know where to begin. Or you're ready to reclaim your voice and rebuild self trust on your own terms. And what you'll learn today are the 3 secrets I have come up with to reclaiming your voice and rebuilding self trust. Secret number 1 is recognizing the situation for what it is. You'll learn how to stop denying what happened and see it clearly with compassion, not shame. Secret number 2, you'll take responsibility without the guilt. You'll discover how to take ownership of your healing without taking on others' blame. And secret number 3, make self-care non-negotiable. Learn why caring for yourself is not selfish. It's essential to rebuilding self-trust. So we do have a bundle that goes along with this. It's the Reclaim and Rebuild Healing Bundle. Kind of like a VIP pass for a workshop. It's just some extra healing tools, trauma-informed resources that you can use after the webinar to help in your healing process. It's $25 until November 1st at 11:59 p.m. and then it will go up to $50. So let's dive in. Secret number 1 is to recognize the situation for what it is. You can't heal what you can't see. So for most survivors of these types of situations, we have a tendency to downplay or deny what happened to us, with saying things like, it wasn't that bad, I should have known better, why didn't I leave sooner? But when you finally recognize what really happened, you break the guilt cycle and see that you were never the problem. You were surviving the problem. So, how you can fix this or apply it to your own life, write honestly about your story. You don't have to show it to anyone. Write down every emotion, every detail. Um, and change those negative thoughts. Flip them around and make them positive. For example, replace "I should have known" with "I did my best with what I knew." It's going to feel awkward at first, but it works and it helps. Let yourself grieve what happened. So once you start admitting to yourself what actually happened, stop denying the truth or trying to just push it aside, you can finally get clarity on the situation and actually begin healing. So when I was in jail, I actually started writing letters to my son and my ex-husband, my son's father, while I was in there. And those letters helped me process the pain that was inside me and finally helped me to finally recognize the truth that I was actually being abused and it wasn't my fault. Um, when people think of domestic violence and abuse, they automatically snap to physical. Um, and I didn't think I was being abused because of that fact. But the bruises and stuff heal. I've never been physically abused per se, but the mental, emotional, and verbal abuse stays with you. And you have to be willing to understand it and be willing to admit that it's happening before you can start healing from it. Okay, secret number 2 is take responsibility without the guilt. Taking responsibility is about healing, not blame. Um, and it doesn't mean that you caused harm in any way. It simply means that you're choosing to reclaim your power to heal. Um, you are taking responsibility of your own healing process so you can stop carrying that guilt that you have. Um, and I'm not saying guilt as in like you causing harm to somebody else or anything like that. It's the guilt of why didn't I leave? Why didn't I this, that, and the other thing? Um, Yeah, I mean, it just once you are able to stop carrying that guilt and flip it around to a positive, the doors to freedom and growth are completely and totally open to you. So you can apply this to your life and choose responsibility over guilt. Commit to your own growth. There was a point in when I was in county jail that, because I originally pled not guilty, and the longer I was in there, the more I began to see things for what they were. I finally started realizing that I was being abused too, and that guilt nearly it ripped me apart. But as I worked through that, I came to the conclusion that my healing was more important. I wasn't going to deny anymore. I mean, no, I did not hurt my son. I was in the house. I saw signs. I could have left. I should have left. There's no denying that. And I wasn't going to let the guilt tear me apart anymore. I had to start healing from the situation. Mind you, I want to make it perfectly clear. Um, my son was adopted by his foster family. He is alive and well right now. Um, which I probably should have stated that sooner. But I decided about halfway through my jail sentence that I was going to take responsibility of my healing, and I ended up going to my lawyer and telling him that I wanted to change my plea. Um, and I did end up changing my plea to guilty. Um, yes, there was lies and coercion and stuff like that involved as well, but my main priority at that time was healing myself so I could move forward and I could help people that were in similar circumstances. I actually thought about that a lot while I was in county and during my prison stay. And the third secret I have for you, make self care non negotiable. Don't be a yes man. You deserve to say no. You deserve to rest and have peace in your life. Take the bath, go for a walk, do you. Because when you stop doing you, things have a tendency to fall apart. And one thing that people don't realize about self-care a lot of the time, it means giving yourself permission to stop carrying everyone else's weight around you. Stop carrying everybody else's stress. You have enough of your own, most of the time, anyway. I mean, even the happiest people, they have their issues. Don't take on everybody else's issues around you. So you really do need to start making self-care a healing habit for yourself. And I don't mean dive in all at once. I mean, you can if you want to, obviously. Um, Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, um, do something that makes you feel better at the time. There's no guilt, no distractions, whether it's journaling, praying, stretching, is taking some deep breaths, doing some grounding exercises. Because you have to remember that taking care of yourself is part of recovery, no matter what you're recovering from. So, a lot of us, when we deal with this type of stuff, um, if we don't heal from situations, that's why a lot of, you know, drug addicts, alcoholics, they have pain that they don't want to deal with. They just push it down and they don't want to deal with it. So they drown it with something else. Drown it with self care so you can start healing. Oh, when I was in county, I mean, self care is hard to come by when you're in jail. Like most people would think of self care. Um, I would read my Bible. I read through the Bible for the first time when I was in county. I mean, I've always been interested in it, and I don't know how necessarily religious I am. I am a spiritual person. I do believe in certain things. Um, but yeah, I decided to read the Bible, and everybody knew that if I was in my room reading my Bible, they were not to bug me. That was my time, my space. Um, if I was reading anything else, my time was fair game, but reading the Bible and doing Bible studies, that was my me time. Okay, so we got through the pretty hard part. Now let's all take a deep breath, because now that these things are in your mind, your healing process can begin. You will be able to point out those hard truths for yourself. release those old beliefs and take those much needed steps for your healing process. And that is something to be proud of. And I do have an offer, small one, really. But I am opening up breakthrough coaching sessions. And each breakthrough coaching session comes with a pre-session clarity journal. It basically asks you questions and stuff and helps you figure out what your healing plan should be from your point of view, because everybody heals differently. And then you'll come to the breakthrough coaching session and we'll talk, we'll chat about what will help you most, and we'll go from there. And the breakthrough coaching sessions will be private one-on-one, 60 to 90 minutes. We'll identify your emotional blocks, reconnect with your voice and your values. Your values change over time, so what your values used to be may not be what they are now. And then creating a personalized healing plan. And if you choose to move forward with me, I have a 6-week and a 12-month, or 6-week and 12-week coaching programs that we can discuss as well. So yes, these are regularly $97. For the next 72 hours, they will be $47. Now I'll make sure that y'all get the link for that. Okay. And please, anybody watching the replay of this, because I know I messed up a little bit and accidentally exited out of the original live stream. So I had to open a new one. If anybody has any questions whatsoever, you can either leave a comment or go back to the About Your Host slide. My the Facebook group name is in there, and an email address where you can contact me. And I also have a gift. Technically it's a stay to the end gift, but because I messed everything up, there's nobody here technically. So the stay to the end gift will be added to the replay for the next 72 hours. So you will still get a chance to have that before it gets put on put in my store. So, thank you for catching this, and we will hang out again soon.